Some cars on dealer lots right now look like incredible deals, but could quietly lose you thousands the moment you drive them off. And the scary part? The brands behind them aren't as stable as they seem. Today, I'm showing you 5 car brands where that mistake is happening right now. This isn't guesswork. I went through sales data, depreciation trends, dealer closures, and manufacturer financials. And when you line everything up, a pattern starts to show. And one of the brands on this list might surprise you, because on the surface it doesn't look weak at all. But underneath, the numbers tell a different story. When a brand begins to weaken, 3 things follow almost every time. Resale value drops faster than expected, support becomes less reliable over time, and buyer confidence quietly disappears. And once confidence drops, everything else follows. Let's start with number 5 and pay attention because each one gets riskier. Number 5, Mitsubishi. Now Mitsubishi isn't collapsing, but it is shrinking, and that's where problems begin. Smaller lineup, lower visibility, less market presence. And that creates a chain reaction most buyers never think about. Fewer cars sold leads to fewer parts circulating, fewer mechanics specializing in them, and over time, ownership becomes harder than expected. But here's where it hits financially: depreciation. Some models are already losing value faster than competitors in the same category. We're already seeing owners lose $8,000 or more in just the first 2 years. So picture this: you think you got a good deal, 2 years later you try to sell it and the market doesn't agree. That gap? That's where you lose money. And that's exactly what dealers won't tell you. Number 4, Infiniti. And this one is dangerous because nothing looks wrong at first. But here's the part most people completely miss. Behind the scenes, the brand has already pulled back from multiple global markets. And when a company starts reducing its footprint, it usually means priorities are shifting. Less expansion, less innovation, less long-term commitment. Now add aging models into that mix. Cars that haven't been fully redesigned in years. And here's what happens next: buyers notice. Demand softens, resale confidence drops, and values start slipping faster than expected. Not overnight, but steadily. Some owners are walking away $15,000 poorer within 3 years, and it was hidden in the fine print. And that slow loss is exactly what most buyers don't calculate before buying. Number 3, Buick. This is where things start getting painful, because Buick has a quiet problem most buyers completely overlook. General Motors is shifting Buick's future toward China. Less U.S. investment, fewer new models, a shrinking dealer network. And when the parent company stops betting on a brand domestically, the resale market figures it out before you do. Used buyers hesitate, maintenance costs add up, and service options quietly disappear. So values drop faster, and recovery is almost impossible. We're already seeing some models lose $12,000 or more within the first 3 years. That's not a deal, that's a slow financial drain. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Some of these cars actually drive great, which makes the financial hit even harder to accept. Now add reduced U.S. investment from General Motors, and long-term confidence weakens even more. So the real question isn't, can you afford it? It's, are you ready to absorb the loss? Now here's where things shift. The next brand isn't struggling in the way you expect. In fact, it's still selling. And that's exactly what makes it dangerous. If you bought a car in the last few years, there's a real chance the next brand is yours. And if it is, this matters more than anything we've covered so far. Number 2, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep. And this is where most buyers get it wrong. Because everything looks normal, even strong. Cars are everywhere. Deals look great. Inventory is full. But look closer at the signals. Heavy discounting, high inventory levels, production adjustments, internal cost pressure. Now here's the truth most people miss. When discounts get aggressive, it's usually not a reward. It's a reaction. Demand isn't keeping up. And when that happens, resale takes the hit, not the manufacturer, you. So yes, you save money up front, but you risk losing more later. That's how the trap works. And number 1, this is where the real risk starts. Because everything we've talked about so far leads to this. Nissan isn't just showing one warning sign. It's showing several at the same time. Financial pressure, structural changes, leadership shifts, cost reduction strategies. Now individually, these aren't unusual, but together, they signal instability. And instability is where value starts to break. Because the moment buyers lose confidence, demand slows, prices soften, and depreciation accelerates. We're already seeing early signs of that in certain models. Now imagine that continuing into 2026. If this trend continues, some buyers could lose more on depreciation than they spend on fuel for years. That's not fear, that's market behavior. So the risk isn't obvious when you buy. It shows up later when you try to sell. And by then, it's already too late. So here's the reality. Mitsubishi, Infiniti, Buick, Chrysler and Dodge, and Nissan. Not necessarily bad cars, but higher financial risk than most buyers realize. And in this market, that's what matters. Because the biggest mistake isn't buying a bad car. It's buying one that loses more than you expected. If you want to avoid that, I've already broken down the SUVs that actually hold their value in 2026. Watch that next before you make any decision. And subscribe, because next, I'm exposing electric cars losing value even faster than these.